everybody, Betsy Markle here, and I'm happy to be on this live video with you. Getting better at my lives. The last 2 weeks I ended up doing other videos, so I hope they were helpful for you. But today's a really great topic. It's how to lose the belly fat. I'm using the term muffin top a lot, so I think that's really adorable, that saying, but not many people like it, that pudge that goes over your pants. And so there's just so much information out there, and I just want to teach you how to lose weight properly and not just being about like having six-pack abs. Where obviously not many people are shooting for that. We want more of a realistic approach, and we want to feel really good about it. So no fake fixes, no quick fixes here. I want to just give you real solutions. Okay, so if you were to research this online, how do I get, slim down around the middle, get the midsection weight off? It's basically, you're just going to read about, 7 days to hard abs, or all those different programs out there and workouts. And I can guarantee you're actually going to strengthen your core, but I think you guys can relate that there's still a layer of fat on top of that really strong core. So it's good to have a very active, engaged core, but I think you guys are looking more for how to get the fat away. So if that sounds like something you are looking for, then yes, we are going to dive a little bit more into that today and give you real solutions. So and then I just want to say, if any of you guys are really here to learn how to get six-pack abs, I'm going to say you might want to go away, because I'm really all about how to heal the metabolism, how to feel good in your body, enjoy life, and to be honest, I'm kind of the 80-20 girl. I am on track 80% of the time. I feel good, but I really enjoy the indulging part of the 20% and living life more normal and fitting in. So if that resonates with you, then that's really what we're aiming for, and we're never going to be getting the insane abs. So today's we're just more fun, okay? And like I said, I want to just teach you the real deal here. So let's dive into it. What are the solutions? Okay, I recently wrote an article about this, and so I'll be posting it if you haven't seen it. But I wanted to do more of a video about it, because I think it's good for you to kind of see it face to face, and everyone learns differently. So number one is good posture. Okay, it sounds so basic, and it's not going to totally solve your problem, but I think it's the perfect start. So we might do all this core workout, these crunches, all these things, but if your posture stinks, it doesn't really matter. So I think a lot of you know that I teach yoga, and I am always about posture. So I want you to kind of think about it and maybe stand up and do it yourself. But if you were to just be standing here regular, and if I'm not holding in my abs, they stick out a little bit more. So that's all good. A lot of people are hunched. I have teenagers, so it's hunching over all the time. They get sick of me saying shoulders back. And then not many people think about the lower area and the pelvic floor. So number one, belly button in, up, and then tuck that pelvis under. And you'll notice that there's so much engagement when that is happening. Instead of just sitting out like this, it's in, up, and then pull the pelvis under. So this is this engaged core. And then not many people think about shoulders as well. So a lot of people are hunched here. So shoulders back and around, and again with that core. This is in yoga our mountain pose. This is the pose where it is the least amount of resistance against gravity, where we are stacked properly with the engaged core. So that's what we are looking for. And it's so easy just to do it for 10 seconds, but can you do it all day long? I can't, no, but I'm gonna do it a lot of the time and always be thinking about it. So we need those reminders in our life a lot. Even I was biking yesterday on a road bike, and I'm leaning over, and I was starting to get sore in my legs and stuff, and all I had to think about was shoulders down the back. I activated the core when I was in my position, and all of a sudden my pedaling got so much stronger. And it wasn't hindering my back. I didn't have that rounded back, and so I'm preventing injury that way too. So posture is just such an important thing to think about all the time. So next time maybe you're in your car waiting at a traffic light, just think about it and see if you're activated. Okay, that core, everything's stemming from right there. Is it activated? Or maybe you're in line at the grocery store. Like, are you just standing there like this, or can you do the motion and really have that strong pose? So that's number one, posture. Okay. Number two is to conquer the bloat. And I think this is like no joke. So many people are bloated a lot. So we need to really dive into that, because to be honest, there's been times, even just recently, I went away for a weekend. It wasn't that good. Had a little bit of like that bloating. There was no amount of energy to hold this belly in that I could do for more than like 5 seconds. It was like, it had to come out because I was so bloated underneath those strong muscles and the strong posture. So bloating sometimes is like one of the main reasons why people have more of that belly pooch and that belly weight. So we need to think about that, and you need to dive into to wonder, like just start asking questions about yourself and say, am I, is there any foods in my diet that I'm inflammatory to? And there's just so many questions. A lot of people think about gluten. Gluten, number one, like side effect is bloat. Some people are dairy. Some people are more beans. Some are different kinds of grains. Even like seltzer gets, the bubbles and stuff. So you want to start to pay attention if there's any foods that you are more reactive to. So when I work with someone, that's what we're doing. We might be working on some menu plans, but we would be also doing like a food log just to see like what foods are you more prone to having an intolerance to, an inflammatory reaction to. And just, it's not like pure science. It's literally experimenting a lot and calming down the immune system so that you can identify if you have a food intolerance or not. So if you eat like crap all the time, you're never going to know whether you have a food intolerance because you're eating it on a daily basis. So you kind of have to clean up the diet, and then you can kind of add foods back in slowly. So there's definitely like a methodical strategy to it, but when I work with any of my clients, I just don't assume that they have a problem with this, this, and this. We are experimenting to see if what tends to be their issues. So anything I missed with that? I think that's the main gist. Bloating, so important. We got to conquer that. And so we have to know for sure what foods you respond better to and not so good with. Okay, the third thing. So just to recap, posture, okay? And then the bloating. We want to get that stomach down. And a lot of people have done my detox program. I'm not like any bit of extremes in life, but my detox is a 9-day system. And that's probably the number one thing people say at the end is just, I feel so much less bloated and I wake up with a flat belly, and then they are able to add foods back very strategically afterwards to know whether they have a food intolerance or not. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, number 3 we are on to is the most important one. It's the deal breaker, and I'd say it's the real reason why people tend to hold on to the belly fat, is going to be cortisol. If you have high cortisol all the time, it's going to be probably the main reason why you can't take off weight, and especially around the midsection. So, as Americans, I feel like we are, we just live in a world where we have like high cortisol all the time. And I want to check in with you guys. So maybe in the comments, just write down whether you feel like your life is stressful or not. Do you think you have high cortisol? Okay. I'm just curious. Majority of my clients, yes, they have high cortisol. And there's different levels, and I can totally do another talk about this because I love to dive into this and I think it's so important. But most people in our society have high cortisol, meaning that they are kind of adrenaline junkies. They go for it. They're working, they're juggling like 10 things in their mind. They got their checklist of what they need to do. They also have to pick up the kids at this time. And they got all the social media happening at the same time. And it's like so much overload that yes, their adrenaline is going. And they kind of don't know how to calm it down. Like they don't know how to sit and relax. They might not know how to meditate. There's no mindfulness and awareness of how to like calm down the cortisol. So that is definitely needed. And then the other avenue is if someone has burned out adrenals, meaning that they've had high cortisol for so long that they're no longer even able to make enough cortisol to kind of get through their day. They're exhausted. So I'm talking more about the people who are just the average American who is just juggling way too much and probably isn't that great about their nutrition either. They might be skipping meals, skipping breakfast, skipping carbs. They're trying more of a diet mentality, which is wrecking their adrenals. And then they might be saying, well, I need to exercise harder, I got to lose weight, and all these things. So they're not nurturing to their metabolism, and that is secreting more stress hormones in the body, which keeps this weight on around the midsection. So does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does, because it's so not the norm that we teach our society out there. We're all about like less calories, exercise more. It's all about like hurting the body. And I am always just trying to teach you guys that you can be kind to your body and still see results and feel good, and then it's sustainable. It feels awesome. So, I mean, this is what I do as a health coach. I love what I do. It makes me be a better person, and I'm always happy to chat with you guys. So if anyone ever wants to set up a free chat, my job is to serve you. So just private message me and I'm happy to set something up. I don't think I've ever talked this long on live. Okay, we did it. Okay, so any questions, post them. And it has been real. I see lots of people in action. And so thank you guys for joining me. Mwah. Take care, everybody.